Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Big Time Sports. My name's Joe Dunn, and here's your invitation to stay with us for the next half hour. We're going to talk some high school baseball with one of the best high school baseball programs in northeastern Ohio. How about the Massillon Tigers? They're in the studio today. Coach Spike Ridgely is here, and it's always fun. We have a high school team come in, coming off one of their biggest wins of the season, and that's the story right now with the Massillon Tigers, who knocked off their arch rival Canton McKinley on Tuesday night, 1-0 over at Massillon. So, Coach, welcome to the program. Always a big win anytime you knock off the Bulldogs. Tell us about that game and how you won it 1-0.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. First of all, thanks for having us. Tremendous atmosphere yesterday, great crowd. It's always special when you get a chance to compete against your rival, and then our kids played really well. Lots of respect for the opponent, you know, and their guy threw complete game for them. Our guy threw 6, and we brought our closer in. Luke McGeorge threw really well for us, and then we brought Brock Palilli in at the end. It had to be a great game to watch from the outside. Yeah. You know, inside the dugouts, it's a little stressful at times, but it had to be a fun game to watch from outside. Yeah, it'd
be a fun game to coach in because every pitch, every inning moved along. You're scoreless, Yeah. Finally, I think you push a run across to the 6th inning, but that had to be on your toes every single pitch.
Yeah, you know, we only got the leadoff hitter on. I think we got him on 3 times in the game. And the first 2 times we got him on, we couldn't get our bunt down. We were trying to bunt him over, didn't get the bunt down. We knew if we had the opportunity, we were going to need to execute. And late in the game like that, we got a leadoff hit from Preston Reinhardt. We needed it. And then we were able to put down a couple of bunts that really set us up for that inning.
Yeah, right now you are 7-4 on the season, Coach. Again, as an independent, you play one of the toughest schedules around. I know you got Walsh Jesuit coming up yet this week. Tell us how tough it is to put together a competitive schedule, because you want to challenge your team, but you don't want to overmatch them every game either.
Yeah, you know, being independent, so I'll get started on it in June to try to make sure that we get the schedule put together. But yeah, we're trying to challenge our kids. You know, we got somewhat of a veteran group. We got a lot of guys back from last year. We got some veteran leadership at key positions, like catcher, a couple senior pitchers. So, you know, we want to challenge our guys, but you're right. You know, you're trying to peak at the right time. We had a little bit of a slow start to start the year off.
Yeah, I saw that.
Starting to play a little bit better now. So, you know, we're excited for another opportunity to play a real quality opponent tomorrow.
Coach, when you have the guys in the program that you can do a lot of things with, do you like to play small ball? You dependent on pitching and wait for the big inning, or how do you like to coach a game?
To be honest with you, you kind of read the game and how the game's going. We knew yesterday with the way that their starter was throwing, the kid's name is Falver, he threw a heck of a game. So we knew we were going to need to move base runners and get them to second. Maybe for us, ideally, we want to get them to third with 1 out, like everybody else, right? But being able to move the ball to give our guys the middle of the order at bats with guys at second and third, you know, less than 2 outs is key. And if we have to, we'll bunt them in, you know, if the game dictates that. And to be honest with you, I was staring at that decision in the bottom of the 6th yesterday. Just felt good about Will swinging a bat in that moment there, and I was glad I let him swing.
Looking at what you had coming back, Coach, and the schedule you put together, what were your goals for this coming season? I know you want, as you mentioned a minute ago, you want to be peaking around tournament time, but what did you expect from this group when you got them together?
You know, I think, you know, we're going into a little bit different situation with the divisions changing. You know, so what I did was I tried to get in there and pull the teams that we could possibly run into in the tournament, and then that way your kids have already been in that situation before. So, you know, tomorrow's one of those. We hope that we're at some point we run into a Walsh in the tournament, because then we're doing pretty good if that happens.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it gives our kids an opportunity to be in that moment, to play in that competitive tournament-like atmosphere. And have to execute, because you know, to win a game like that, like yesterday, 1-0. You got to be pretty sharp to play in a game like that. Both teams did, so we expect that again tomorrow.
Do you like the new 7-division format? You're Division II this year. For many years, you were Division I. I remember 2 seasons ago broadcasting your games over at Thurman Munson, had that great tournament run. Now you're Division II. Does it make any difference? It's all good baseball.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, there's really good teams in every division, honestly. I mean, it's just the biggest thing that you see changing with it is that a lot of the sectional tournament games are now gone. There's not as many. I think I looked at they sent out the brackets for us last week, and I think there's only 1 sectional tournament for all 3 or 4 districts that there are. Yeah. So the tournament the biggest thing that happens is the tournament ends up starting later.
Right.
So, which we like. I mean, you get a chance to play with in deeper into the year with some better weather and prepare a little bit longer, right, before it happens. But the quality of the opponents, honestly, I think with the way you look at the different divisions, it's still very, very good. I don't know that part's any easier. I don't think it is. Yeah.
Are you a young team, a veteran team, a good mixture of players, and what's the kind of the makeup of the team this year?
We were really young last year. At any given time last year, we had 3 freshmen starting.
Wow.
Yeah, so those guys, it looks like we're young, but we don't feel like we are, because those 3 that got a lot of experience last year are now starters, and they've already got a whole year under their belt. So they're only sophomores, but the biggest thing for us is we're getting a lot of leadership. I mean, Brock's a senior. He's been a 4-year starter for us. So he's really good in that role. We got some juniors that are really starting to step up, but you got those freshmen, the guys like Isaac. Those guys are here. Will are here tonight. They've played every game as freshmen. So, we like the mix that we have, and I'm looking forward to seeing these guys mature throughout the year. But you feel like that experience is there, where last year we really didn't have it yet.
Yeah. What about youth baseball in the city of Massillon? When you get these players as 9th graders, is there a lot of development you have to do, or are some of these players ready to play right away?
Yeah, Brian Smith runs our youth program for us. He does a really good job with us. It's the Massillon Youth Sports Association, and a lot of those kids come to our camps. They're at our camps. They're learning the fundamentals and different things that we're teaching at the high school level. He keeps them involved. Does a really nice job, and so when they get here, they got some familiarity already. But it's not as big of a transition as you might think, and he does a nice job with that. Really helps us.
You play, I think, in a really unique facility over in Massillon. I love going over there and watching the games. You got the screen there in left field. You're down in. It's a great viewing point for the fans. It's got to be fun. You played there. It's got to be fun to coach there, the fields you played on, and so many memories when you go out there.
Yeah, I think it's the best kept secret and stuff.
I agree.
It's kind of hidden back in that little corner. And I have to mention David Hackenbrack, our field guy. Like, we walk up there, we hit in the indoor oftentimes because it's more efficient. We can get more swings. And then when we walk out to the field and see the condition that he's got that thing in, it's unbelievable. And then the downhill, like you said, you're looking down in and watching. It's a great venue. There's good seating. You can sit on the hill. You can go in the bleachers. It's definitely a home field advantage. We're really lucky to play there. Yeah,
you can park right back of the field, walk across, and you got a nice place to watch some baseball. What about some of the former players you've coached? You got some playing at the college level right now, and what about some of the guys on this year's team that's already committed, I think?
Yeah. We got Matt McGeorge is playing at Mercyhurst right now. He's been traveling with them. I think he's going to be a guy that impacts them very soon. Jalen Leedy's finishing up his career. He's at Mount. He's a senior this year. From a few years ago, he was on the team. We can't forget Aiden Longwell. Aiden's playing in I think is he in Double-A? I think he's in High A right now.
Okay.
So he's doing really well. And then we got some guys committed this year too. Brock is committed to playing at Tiffin next year. Luke is a D1 commit as well. He pitched yesterday. So we got some guys, and then Preston Reinhardt just kind of flipped, and he's going to go to Malone now. So I think there's a few other guys that could end up getting some looks. But yeah, the guys have worked hard. We're really lucky with the facilities we have.
You're right.
So we're able to kind of go at it in a somewhat all year round type of thing within the rules. But we're lucky with our facilities, and the guys take advantage of it for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple guys that help with the youth program. What about the rest of your coaching staff? Who are the guys that help you on a daily basis?
Yeah. So Jordan Knight's he's been with me the longest. He's our pitching coach. He's an intervention specialist at the high school. He'll call the pitches during the games and works with all the pitchers. Done a great job for us. I think it's his 5th season. Zach Catrone is a former player, so I've been here long enough now. We're starting to have former players impact us. And, he's a guy that played for us. We trusted him then, and it's easy to bring him back when you know what you're going to get there. He's going to be a teacher. He just finished up his student teaching. He coaches first base for us, does a lot of the hitting stuff, works with the third baseman. And then we just brought Ben Himes back, which has kind of been a really neat experience for me. Will's dad, he was a teammate of mine in high school. So Ben brings some really good experience coaching, because Ben's been a head coach before. He's had a lot of success coaching. So bringing him in, having a former teammate, and he can really help with our catchers and runs all the hitting for us and coaches thirds. So I would put our staff up against anybody in Ohio. I think we've got a really good staff. I'm very fortunate.
Of course, pitching is the name of the game at any level. Do you develop the pitchers? Are they pretty well set before you get them? And you mentioned your pitching coach. And how much can you develop a kid over 4 years so where he's a senior is really helping you?
I think a lot. I mean, the kids are really committed to the weight room. Brock's the way that Brock has jumped in the last 4 years as far as pitching, he's a guy that came in, maybe 82, 81, and maybe we've had him a few times in the 90s this year. So, a lot of that goes back to his weight room dedication. And then Jordan works with them all fall and winter. So they'll get together and work on their, they'll do flat ground, just grip and feel, just, feeling out the pitches. But those guys work at it all year round. We got a few guys that play multiple sports. Coach Moore does a great job of promoting that at our school. And Isaac's one of those guys. So Isaac works to get in there. Josh Hose is fantastic working with him. And those guys can come in and throw a little bit after practice and that sort of thing. So we all try to work together to help each other with that, for sure.
Coach, stay put. We've got 3 young men that can't wait to get up here and talk a little Massillon Tigers baseball. So don't go away. We're back with more Big Time Sports right after this.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
You're only as good as your people. And what we've done here is that we've created a culture where people flourish.
We don't want it to be a transaction. We want it to be something where there's a consultative approach, a relationship that allows us to really, one, ensure our customer the right way, but then two, to let them understand the value of getting to work with us.
It's an extreme amount of satisfaction for this team that we have right now. We've developed a team that is solely based on relationships.
Sometimes life is just not okay. But guess what? That's okay.
And the pain you feel today won't always be the pain you feel tomorrow.
And no temporary situation is worthy of a permanent decision.
And if we give life a chance, we can change. We can grow.
Because it's not the absences of hard times that makes life worth living.
It's the presence of hope.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. We were talking Massillon Tigers baseball tonight with head coach Spike Ridgely. He's brought 3 young men with him that are key to the team this year. And Coach, before we have you introduce this young guy, when you watch a player come into your program as a 9th grader, maybe you see them as 8th graders, then they're seniors, how much fun is it to watch them get better and better and better, and you get to watch this improvement from season to season? It's
a lot of fun. And I remember Brock when he was an 8th grader. That was during the end of that COVID thing.
Yeah.
So the rules were really, we were allowed to do a lot more in the summertime back then. So I remember seeing him taking ground balls and working up at our field as an 8th grader. And it's the best part about high school baseball and high school sports, and it's also the toughest part, because you spend all that time with them. And you're around them and you watch them grow and you build those strong connections with them, and then they're gone.
You're right.
And that's the hardest part about it. He's definitely a special kid. It's trying to enjoy all the time that we have with him here, and really proud of him because he's been improving each year, and he has himself an opportunity to go play college baseball now because of it.
Well, welcome to the program. What about getting ready for baseball? I don't know if you play other sports or not, but getting ready for baseball, that's a year-round thing. Once the season is finally over, do you take a little time to kind of recharge the batteries a little bit, or you get right back after it?
Normally I take like 1 to 2 weeks off and then jump back into summer ball. This year I'm not playing summer ball. I'm with a college league, so I'm going to be up there with some college guys getting experience before I head to college. But I should have some time off this year to recuperate.
Yeah. Tell us about coming into the Massillon baseball program as a young 9th grader to where you are right now. What have you improved the most, and how much fun has it been being part of this program?
I mean, it's been amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better 4 years. I mean, coaching staff's been amazing. Went through a couple different guys, but I mean, the groups of seniors. When I got brought in as a freshman, I was up on varsity, and the seniors and older guys, they welcomed me, and that's what I'm doing now as a junior and senior. I'm just welcoming all those underclassmen and making them feel welcome.
How about some of the guys you grew up playing baseball in the neighborhood or playing travel ball with? You're still playing with some of those guys? And how much fun is it to make that progression with those same kids you grew up with?
My sophomore year, majority of the seniors I played with growing up, and then there's a couple other guys like Tyler Hackenbrack, Drew Longwell, and Luke McGeorge. We all grew up playing together. So we lost that season. It was definitely a tough one. You know, had a really good bond that year. But, you know, still got a couple left and enjoying my time I got left with them.
Of course, you're coming off that big win Tuesday night against Canton McKinley, 1-0 win at home. Big crowd, every pitch means so much. When you're out in the field going through that, is there a pressure situation, or you've played so much baseball, you just get used to that?
I mean, yeah, you can feel the pressure a little bit, but you got to stay calm in those moments. You know, it's just a game. Got to stay calm and fluent and do whatever you can.
Exactly. Looking back at your career right now, is there certain games that once you look back at your career at Massillon, you'll remember those games? Is there a couple right now you look back at right now?
Yeah, I can definitely think of a couple, like the Dover game my sophomore year, Jackson. That Hoban one's a tough one. I still remember that one very well. Last year, the Mayfield one didn't end the season how we wanted, but I can definitely remember that one vividly.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like most young boys growing up across the country that dream about playing Major League Baseball someday. First, you got to take care of high school baseball. Now you're going up and playing a college league after the season. Has that always been a dream, and how hard have you worked maybe someday to make that dream come a reality?
It's a really big dream of mine. Ever since I've grown up, it's always been a dream. I'll take any opportunity I can to play after college. I mean, I just want to play till I can't anymore. But pretty much been working my entire life at it. Originally as catching, I've been big working on catching, but I think I'm going to have to flip the script to work on catching and pitching, more on pitching this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, congratulations on a big win Tuesday night against McKinley. Best of luck the rest of the season, and thanks for coming over tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, take a break because we still have two more players to talk to right here on Big Time Sports, so don't go away.
Ready for adventure? The 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Certified by the American Lighting Association, Furbay's Light Shop is your go-to for all lighting needs, residential, commercial, or industrial. Our experts assist with every detail, from bulb size and fixture type to designing layouts. Visit us for hands-on displays showcasing various fixtures, or log in to furbay.com/lightshop. Let us help you visualize the perfect light for your space. Whether you need advice or want to explore lighting options, stop by or log in to Furbay's Light Shop today and see how we can brighten your project.
We are talking Massillon Tigers baseball tonight with head coach Spike Ridgely. And Coach, talking to you before the show, I had forgotten that you played your college baseball at the University of Akron for a guy that a lot of people around Stark County remember, Dave Frost. And how much fun now as a coach did you have more fun as a player or more fun as a coach?
Well, you definitely felt like you could affect things a little more when you were playing.
Right.
But no, the big part of it, the thing that sticks with you with baseball is there was awesome relationships when you were a player, and those are still there as a coach. And that's kind of what drives me, being in those competitive moments with people that have worked hard around you and that you trust. And so that part of it's the same. You're just deciding now, when should you bunt, what should the lineup look like, and what pitcher should throw today, and when should he come out. So those are the differences. You don't get to throw the ground ball to first anymore.
Exactly. You got a young guy sitting next to you. Why don't you introduce him and what he's mean to the team this year?
Isaac, listen, he came up as a freshman last year. and was we asked him to go into a role right away as a second baseman. He did a phenomenal job for us. Pitched a lot of innings for us last year. We quickly found out that the moment wasn't going to be too big for him. There's some guys that have that at a young age. He had it right away. He's in that same role for us now, except for now he's a little bigger and stronger. He throws the ball a little harder, pounds the strike zone, and he's our leadoff hitter now. So holds his ground in that batter's box and finds ways to get on base for us.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the program. Growing up in Massillon, dreaming about the days you put on that Tiger baseball uniform, were you surprised that you got into the lineup as quickly as you did as a young player, or did you expect that because of all the experience you'd had before you got to the high school?
No, you know, just coming in, I was just here to just play. I've been playing baseball a long time, just trying to get on the field as much as I can, help my team.
Yeah, of course, a second baseman and a pitcher. What do you prefer when the coach makes out the lineup card? I'm sure you know in advance when you're going to pitch, but how much you enjoy playing second base, and conversely, how much you enjoy pitching?
Oh, they're both fun, you know, but whatever they need me at the time, whatever's best for the team.
Yeah. Getting mentally prepared to play. Has there always been some special things you've done, maybe coming up as a grade school player, things you've carried into high school that you get yourself mentally prepared to play?
You know, just normal, like listen to music, get me ready to go, and just not too tensed up, but just relax and chill.
Obviously, you enjoy playing baseball. Can you remember the first time somebody put a bat in your hands or hands you a baseball and taught you how to play the game? Can you remember who that was and who kind of taught you how to play the game the right way?
So I was playing with my brother. He's a grade above me, and I just was playing up my whole life. And he really pushed me and taught me how to play the game.
Okay, did you pick a lot of pickup games in the neighborhood, or did you play travel ball at a certain age? Tell us about the progression.
Yeah, I played a lot of travel ball, you know, was playing third, pitched a lot, and then, you know, I was adjusting to the older group because I was playing up, but then once I got with them, I was going.
Of course, we talked to the coach about that big win Tuesday night against McKinley. A young player in the Massillon program, did you feel a special adrenaline flow once you saw the Bulldogs come on the field? Is that something that you really have to overcome a little bit or not?
No, not really. You know, coming off basketball, coming off football. Yeah. We play McKinley teams a lot, and it's like that just keeps me going. Every time I see them, it just gets me going and ready to play.
Gotcha. Well, it was a big win, of course, and hopefully there'll be a lot more big wins before you leave the Tiger baseball program. So best of luck the rest of the season, and thanks for coming over tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, we're going to take our final break because we have one more Massillon Tiger. We're going to come up and talk some baseball right after this. Okay.
For adventure, the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is here. With its sleek design, advanced safety features, and spacious interior, the Equinox is built for your next journey. It combines performance with efficiency. Find yours at Ferris Chevrolet Toyota. Locally trusted, family-owned, and dedicated to your driving needs, Ferris Chevrolet Toyota makes finding your dream car easy.
This moment, it's a choice. To find out what you're made of. To own what's in front of you, no matter what that might be. We showed up, we're here. This moment belongs to us right now.
It's always that personal touch that they know you.
Primetime has people that can help you through every step of the way, and when you're my age, you need that extra help.
You don't want a lot of questioning when you're already dealing with a medical issue. Primetime is trying to help us get down the road as long as we can.
And if you're not in the right situation, a senior can lose everything. I feel with Primetime we picked the best program.
Talking Massillon Tigers baseball tonight on Big Time Sports. Head coach Spike Ridgely is here. And Coach, we have a few minutes left, and why don't you do the honors and introduce this young guy to your left?
Yeah, Will Himes, a sophomore, logged a lot of innings. I think he started every inning of every game as a freshman last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
you know, he came in as an outfielder, has really developed as a pretty good first baseman too, because as you know, Drew Longwell pitches. So we'll run him over there to first when Drew's pitching, and he really holds it down defensively for us at both of those spots, left and first. And he's become a real force for us in the middle of the lineup as a 3-hitter. Can hit the ball to all fields, drives the baseball, and just gives us a really good at bat, you know, to the point where, you know, we had him in a situation last night with second and third in a game that had one hit, and I let him hit in that particular situation instead of trying to maybe bunt or do something different, because I just felt good about him putting the bat on the ball, and he did. He did it for us, hit a sac fly, and helped us win that game last night.
Well, Will, welcome to the program. Off to a great career over at Massillon. I know what the answer to this question is. I'll ask it anyway. Who was the first guy to put that bat in your hand and teach you how to play the game? I'm sure it was your dad. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was my dad. He just brung me up ever since I was a youngin'.
So baseball has always been a big part of your life.
Yeah.
And tell us about maybe going to some of the Massillon baseball games as maybe a grade school kid and dreaming about someday being out there in the field. Is everything you thought it would be as much fun?
Yes, I'm loving it.
Tell us about some of the transitions you had to make from probably playing as a young kid to playing varsity baseball. What are some of the things you had to get better at?
I would say I would just have to get better at, like, keeping my composure, staying calm, staying relaxed.
Have you always been able to hit the baseball? Has that been the strength of your game? And
yeah, that's
how did you learn to hit? Are you a guy that just sees the ball and hits the ball? You're a guess hitter, or how do you approach every at bat?
Well, I go in the box, take a deep breath, watch it out of the pitcher's hand, and just.
So try and just kind of blank out and just see the ball and hit it as hard as you can.
Yeah, just see ball, hit ball.
I'll tell you, I've heard that from a lot of coaches, that's the best way to approach your at-bat. Don't try and overthink it a little bit, and you seems like you've done a pretty good job of that. Now, you're playing first base, you're doing a little bit of pitching. Coming into this season, what did you expect to play a lot at? First base, throw a few innings, or what?
I expect to play a lot of first. I play left field, too.
Okay.
I know we've all been working on my craft, working on my picks.
First base, of course, has that always been your position growing up, and you feel most comfortable there?
I actually grew up, I played left field a lot. I played a little bit of infield growing up, like third and second. Just utility guy. Yeah.
Coach, I'm sure you were aware of this young guy as a young age, and we're coming watching him develop. Maybe you saw him for the, let's ask him, when was the first time you saw him swing the bat, and maybe as a third or fourth grader?
Well, to be honest with you, I knew him well because of Ben.
Sure.
Ben Himes being my teammate, and then watching his brother contribute. At that time, they were in the Jackson district, and watching we competed against his brother. Yeah. So when Will decided to make the decision to be at Massillon, you kind of knew what you were going to get just because of the way that you saw Ben Himes coach hitting before. Yeah. So. We immediately put him into the hitting groups and got him going, and he's been a solid force for us in the middle of the lineup. He doesn't get cheated. Yeah. You know, when you watch him, if he gets a 2-0 pitch, he's really trying to get into that pitch and pick one out that he can really drive. And when he comes off the field, you know he's gonna get his money's worth while he's in the batter's box.
I'll tell you what, I'm sure it's been fun watching him play. Thanks for coming over tonight. Coach, as always, great talking Massillon baseball with you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Massillon Tigers are subject tonight. Go out and watch them play over at Massillon. Should be an outstanding second half of the season. For Coach Spike Ridgely, I'm Joe Dunn. We'll see you back here next week.